Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Dramasology podcast. In this episode, I am continuing on my review of Marry My Husband. In this episode is going to be covering episode 7 and 8 because that's currently where we are at the time of this recording. And honestly, I have to say that I am loving this drama. I wasn't planning on doing a week to week review of this drama, but I love it so much and I keep wanting to talk about it that I was just like, you know what, I'll just keep doing reviews. This will be the second drama that I'm covering back to back after Reborn Rich. I think it was like the second drama or like third drama I ever covered on this podcast, and so that just tells you how much I am loving this drama. So just to talk about what has happened in this past two episodes, episode 7 and 8, honestly, like I mentioned, I am loving this drama. It is not perfect, but for me, honestly, it is. It's like that child that is naughty, right? Or like that's just a terrible kid to everybody else, but like in the eyes of his mother, he's like the perfect angel. I'm not saying this drama is anything bad or anything, but I mean, I know it's not perfect. There are a lot of little things here and there that, could be better, but honestly, I can't see it. So if there is, I am not noticing them because I just love this drama so much. So let's just get right into it. I would say that for me, the most memorable part for this last episode was that moment in the camping ground where Jiwon is finally honest with Sumin. When she tells her that I no longer like you, right? She tells her straight up. And I think that this is a turning point in the drama because up to this point, I feel like they've been dancing around this idea of whether they are friends or not. And like Sumin has been able to like pretend that Jiwon is her friend, but now that Jiwon has actually put it in words, the game is on. You can even see how Sumin's face changes, and I think it was memorable for me to see her tell her that because it was important, I think, for Jiwon and also for the audience that Sumin knows that Kang Jiwon is no longer a friend, right? A close second is the scene where they're actually fighting, right, for the flag, because I mean there's just something about that scene because we like witness Kang Ji-won be a different person than who she was in the first life. Because one thing I like about this drama, and I mentioned this in my last two episodes covering this, is that even though Ji-won is reborn, she's still Ji-won, right? She's still a nice person. She's still a timid person. And that doesn't change overnight, even when people have hurt you. Like, Yoo Ji-hyuk mentions that in this episode, that you're too good. That's why you're sad about the things you're doing because you think it's bad. But really, you're doing a good job. Right? Jiwon is just naturally like this, and honestly, she should not have to resort to these methods. But unfortunately, the people around her are so terrible that she's had to like seal her heart and do these things, right? And so I think that moment where she's fighting Sumin, right? I mean, for a second there, I thought she lost that flag to Sumin until they show that she actually got it back, because I would have been really pissed if she had let it go because I was pissed for her, right? But anyway, that scene was really good. Watching her beat the shit out of Sumin was just amazing because Sumin has been getting on my nerves. And I will say that the actress playing Sumin, Song Ga-yoon, is very well casted. There's just something about her that is vapid, that is mean, narcissistic. Like you can tell she's like a little sociopath, right? Which is why honestly I'm scared for Yang Juran, their colleague, the, timid colleague, because honestly, first of all, she reminds me so much of Jiwon, right? Like she would be who Jiwon would have been in her first life, right? That I'm scared for her, that like, because every time she like latches onto her and holds her arm, I'm like, oh my God, this lady needs to run. Like this is a red flag next to you. You need to run. But honestly, let's be honest. Sumin would have her for breakfast, and like she's not even a worthy opponent for Sumin. So I guess she's just there as canon for that. But like I'm already scared for her because Sumin is just, I don't know how to explain it, but she's doing it so well. The actress is doing it so well. The characterization of Sumin itself is amazing because there's just something about her that I feel like she almost believes that Jiwon is her friend. The issue is that she believes because Jiwon is her friend, she deserves all the things that she's doing to her, if that makes sense. Like because she's her friend, she should give in to her. She should let her whine. She should give up all the things that are ours to her. That's our own definition of friendship, right? So in a way, I think she does believe that Jiwon is her friend. It's just that for her, what a friend is not what a friend is to everybody else, right? So it's very interesting watching her character as well and watching her change. The minute she hears Jiwon say those words, I no longer like you. Like, I don't like you anymore. She like, you can see it in her face that she's like boiling deep inside. And that's when she decides like the game is on. I'm going to marry your husband, take everything you have, and like leave you nothing. Like you're going to like even the way G1 mentions or talks about Sumin, she says that now that she's told her that, oh, I no longer like you, Sumin is going to be thinking about punishing her. That's a very interesting way to put things. Like your friend is going to punish you. It's a very odd way to see it, and it makes you see that Sumin is at the end of the day just a very abusive person, right? Because for her, that's where her mind goes, right? That she's going to try and get back at her somehow, try and get her to see that, she's above her in some way, right? And it's just very interesting, that character. Another point I want to talk about is in that scene where Sumi finally sleeps with Pakman, like they're like, caressing each other in like the woods, right? And Jiwon sees that, right? That moment where she breaks down and she's just kind of crying. I think I like that scene as well, because there's something about the fact that after all this has happened in her first life, I feel like I haven't really seen her cry, right? Like I haven't seen her really cry, and I feel like that was the first moment where she kind of like just broke down and kind of really let herself experience the sadness of what has happened, right? Because again, it's not easy watching the people that you thought were everything to you do that to you, right? It's not easy watching them cheat on you and everything. And so I think that her having that good cry where she just like breaks down and Yujok is kind of comforting her was very good to see, because it's very important for her to have that moment to just like grieve of what she's lost. Not because she wants it back or anything, but just because it's very emotional and very sad what, she's had to go through because of these two people, right? And so I think that I really like that moment, even though it's not that she wants Park Min-hwan back or anything, right? Just watching her cry was just very, very good. And again, Yujiro comforting her was also just lovely, right? So again, this drama really has those moments that really, I think, stand out to me as, what makes it amazing. But going back to Yang Juran, I have to say there's something brewing, and I don't know what it is, right? Something is brewing between her and the character of Isok Jun, the chairman's secretary, right? There's something, I don't know what it is, and I don't know if I'm seeing it right, but I feel like they are making them a love line. And it will be interesting because honestly, I'm a huge fan of Ado Gwon, because over the weekend I watched Hot Stove League and he was in that drama playing Kang Doogie, one of the baseball players. If you've not watched that drama, you should check it out. But I remember loving him so much in that drama that when I saw him here, I mean, first of all, I feel like he's lost weight. But when I saw him here, I was so excited. And like now, it seems that they are making it a love line between him and Yang Juran. And I am here for it, because I feel like even when you're a timid person, it doesn't mean you shouldn't have a happy ending. Like Kang Ji-won is changing because she has a second chance. But normally, if you're a good person, I would like for your life to go well. And I would like it for her, because I can tell that her husband is basically Park Min-hwan. Basically, right? It's like this boy child that she has to kind of take care of alongside her daughter, and so I feel sad for her about that. And so if it's possible that there's a love line, and I really like the way his character is written, he tells her straight up that like when you say something, say it with confidence. Like don't just like ramble off and like murmur off and stuff like that. He already like is very true to himself and trying to correct everything that he feels that is an hindrance to her, and I just like that. So I don't know if there's a love line there. If there is, I am there for it. I want it to happen. But moving on, I will say that generally I feel like I'm getting scared about the pacing of this drama, because I mentioned in like the last episode I did about this that I'm scared that 16 episodes will be too long and they won't have any material at like episode 13 or something. But now I'm scared about the opposite. I feel like 8 episodes has already aired, and I still feel like we've not gotten to the meat of things. Like I don't know what's going to happen, right? And I'm like scared that can they contain all the plot lines within these last 8 episodes, because there's a lot that needs to happen. First of all, Kang Ji-won and Yoo Ji-hyuk have not even started dating or anything. They are barely in a romantic relationship, right? They're just like friends at this point, like confidant. And I'm like, When is it gonna happen? So like I'm kind of worried about that a little bit, because I mean revenge takes time, and for it to be satisfying it has to be kind of drawn out for us to see all the good that is happening to Kang Ji-won, as well as all the bad that's happening to Park Min-wan and Sumin. And I'm scared that there might not be enough episodes. I will say that I'm glad that at least the chairman is kind of on board with Kang Ji-won already. So it's really just about their relationship moving forward, right? There's not going to be obstacle in the sense of that, like, you know, the chairman being against them, which is already good. I like that. I like the scene where he mentions that, you know, talk to your previous blind date. You're no longer going to marry her, and just let her down easy, because, you know, he knows that his grandson is in love with somebody else, and so he's willing to compromise. He even says, when will I meet her? And so when he said that, I was like, oh, at least thank God that is out of the way. But still, like, I'm scared that what if there's not enough time to cover all that? But generally, I feel like their relationship is at a good place now. This is something that's rarely seen in dramas. I feel like that moment before, like, people start dating, right, where they are just kind of friends. It's kind of not something dramas do. People just kind of fall in love. Like, they go from fighting to falling in love. Like, there's never that moment where you feel like, oh, they're actually compatible partners, that like they'll be able to get through things together. But in this, like, you actually see them communicate and, you know, trust one another, and, you know, tell each other how they feel and everything. And I feel like that is just amazing. Like, it makes the drama even better, right? Just to see them talk like friends at first, right? So you can just tell that when they do get together, their relationship is going to be built on that trust and communication that they've already had in the past, which I love, right? And so I do like that they are taking that time to show this, right? And Yu Jeok is not kind of pushing out to be in a romantic relationship with him, because she's not there yet. I feel like she's already has good feelings towards him, right? And that's really all it takes at this point, because at some point she's just gonna fall and, you know, be into him. But, you know, I just like the fact that they are showing that little by little instead of like making them fall in love all at once. It makes no sense otherwise, right? So even though I'm complaining about the pacing, I do think it's good. I'm just worried about how it's gonna continue, right? But genuinely, I feel like they are doing it well. Now, since I never read the webtoon, I don't know what is gonna happen, right? I don't know what the end is. And I'm the kind of person that I like my revenge to be satisfying. If you've ever seen or listened to any of my episodes, you will know that I am the kind of person that if the revenge is not satisfying, I am out. I am done, right? And so that's really my biggest worry with this. That will they be able to show Sumin and Park Min-wan suffering? I like my villains to suffer in a rebirth drama. Like, I want them to like cry tears of blood if they could, right? I want it to be the worst possible scenario for them, right? And I hope this drama delivers on that. I don't know how the webtoon ends. I don't want to know, because then I might start watching. But for now, like, I just hope that, praying to God that it's a good one, right? It's a good revenge, because it's very difficult for dramas to like give you a good revenge. I need to go look for some recommendations on like good revenge dramas, right? Because I have never satisfied, right? And this is also why I don't watch like the long 120 episode drama, because the revenge is like 2 minutes before the ending of the show. And it's so annoying after you watch like your character suffer for the last 100 episodes. So I really hope that this one delivers, because if it doesn't, I will just start crying. So, you know, I'm very excited about this though. Like, I can tell that it's going well. At least for me, I am loving it. Yu Jeok is fantastic and so tall. Like, now I don't know how tall he is, but he looks so tall next to Park Min-young. Park Min-young looks like, I don't know. She looks very short next to him, and I don't know if she's like short or if he's like just tall, right? But I feel like he's just tall, right? Like, he's super tall, and I just love that dynamic. So I'm here for this, right? I am like every Monday and Tuesday I'm always seated like after work. I'm just, you know, ready to watch another like 2 episodes of this too. So, you know, hopefully again it keeps being this good. I have no criticism at this point. I feel like everything is just perfect, and let's hope it keeps being this way. And so, yeah, that's really it for my review of episode 7 and 8 of Marry My Husband. I hope to keep continue doing this review of this drama weekly, so you can expect that. I mean, or if something happens and like they ruin the drama, I'll just stop reviewing it, right? Now you guys probably hate me for it. Or I'll like do one review that's like just terrible and I just trash the drama and you hate me for it as well. But hopefully none of that happens and I can keep doing this review every week till it ends because I am loving it that much. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. I'll see you again next week. Have a nice day. Bye.